What is the number one killer? What is the number one predictor of heart disease? It is not stress, cholesterol, obesity, smoking, lack of exercise. The number one predictor of heart disease is someone who has an angry, hostile heart. And if you're someone, every single person in this room will have walked in with stuff. There will be something that's happened to you. You know, when you were a baby, when you were a toddler, when you were a teenager, somebody dumped you, somebody divorced you, somebody took the children, somebody took the money. I'm here in America because I lost $3 million. People go, oh, do you think she did? Yes. Of course, it was only Australian money, which is about $12 American. But I did. I had a financial advisor. He's now living in a very big house. Anyway, and I'm here. Because at 45, I lost everything. But you know what? I feel, once I got over it, of course, I didn't go, oh, cool, great, this happened straight away. I was, a bit upset for a while, but I got over it now because I'm so blessed it was just money. My wake-up call was money instead of my health. I am so blessed. So for whatever has happened to you in your life, the stuff you're carrying around, on my website, there's a book called Molecules of Emotion by Candace Pert, a scientist. She discovered endorphins. And Candace Pert now proves that when human beings hang on to stuff in their lives, that stuff forms the basis of disease. Let go of the stuff. You don't need the stuff. So make a commitment to yourself. When you walk out of this room today, you're going to dump your stuff. You're going to leave it in this room and try to step over it as you go out, okay? And then the other thing is, in terms of anger and hostility, when you're looking at someone going, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you as well. Guess what's happening to your heart? Your heart is going, it's shriveling up and getting hard, and all the arteries are getting blocked. Guess what's happening to the person you hate's heart? Nothing. It's going pump, 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 happy, happy, happy. You've got to get rid of anger and hostility. So people say to me, yeah, well, how do you do that? It's called forgiveness. And if you look at the word forgiving, it stands for forgiving. For you to forgive someone, you have to give them love. And this next piece is a gift from my mum to you. My mum and stepdad were married for 25 years, and they lived on a 5,000-acre ranch, 6 hours drive from anywhere. It was like literally outback Australia. And I had two stepbrothers, one of whom is fabulous, and the other is a tremendous opportunity for practicing forgiveness. Anyway, so my stepdad died about 5 years ago, and my mum was about 72 at the time, and 2 weeks after he died, my mum's very depressed, obviously, and he'd been sick with cancer for about 3 or 4 years, and my stepbrother, the forgiveness one, inherited the property. So he goes up to Mum 2 weeks after my stepdad dies and says, leave. So, there's like 25 years, she has to leave her home, she has to go to a city, into a small apartment, she had to leave her precious cats behind, one got eaten by a snake, trying to find them again. So my mum is now very depressed and very angry. And what you guys may not know is that it's not at a period of intense stress that people get sick. It's about 18 months to 2 years after this intense period of stress that they get cancer, heart attack, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, all the nasty ones. If you don't deal with the stress while it's happening, it's as if a seed gets planted. And over the next 18 months to 2 years, roots grow and branches grow, and bam, here's the disease. You must deal with the stress while it's happening. So Mum's right in this phase, right? And I know this. I'm thinking, man, if we don't do something, Mum's going to get cancer. So as God would have it, I was in New Zealand, and I met a man called Paul Pearsall, a cardiopsycho-neuroimmunologist, and he taught me that when we send love to other people, not only do we boost our immune systems, but we boost their immune systems. So I was very excited because I thought, yes, this is the answer. So I get home and I say, Mum, I've got the answer, Mum. Now, she's used to me, right? And she's 72. And she looks at me and she goes, what? I said, this is it, Mum, you just got to send love. And she went, what do you mean, send love? I said, I don't know, Mum, just send love. I don't know. And I didn't know. So we didn't talk about it anymore. But she was staying with me for about 6 weeks, and time came for me to take her home. So I took her to the airport. I came back from the airport, and on my pillow was a note. And if you haven't written a note like this recently, do it soon. In the note, she tells me how wonderful I am, what a great daughter I am, how much she loves me. It's the sort of note that at the end of it, I'm going, I love Mum, I love Mum, and I'm such a bitch because I was glad she left. You know, that sort of note? And at the end of this, at the very end, she had drawn a great big heart on one side and a great big heart on the other side and a whole lot of little hearts in between. And that was my mum's way of sending me love. And you know, most women look at this and they go, oh, that's beautiful, beautiful. And most men go, oh. But fellas, I want to share with you an Australian word. I want to teach an Australian word. This is probably the single greatest way you will ever find to score bonking points. And you want bonking points, okay? But we're going to practice this. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to have our hands like this in a minute, not yet. And we're going to make this noise. Zoot, 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 zoot. And that's Z-O-O-T, okay? So each little heart is a zoot, 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 zoot. And we are going to go zoot, 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 and touch someone else's chest just above their heart, okay? Okay? In fact, we're going to do it to 4 different people. Oh, we're going to do it to 5 different people then, because you went, that good positive spirit. Now, the reason we're doing it is because it is so important. For those of you who think, oh man, I've done everything else, why do I have to do this one? Because, a couple of stories. One man told me about his 14-year-old son. These are true stories, all my stories are true. And his 14-year-old son, 12 months ago, had dropped out of school. He was doing drugs, they thought. They really thought they'd lost him. They'd tried everything. They didn't know what else to do to get this kid back. 12 months later, the child is back at school. He's in the school music band. He's the valedictorian, or the whatever you call it that means smart. And he's doing very well, and he's getting on with his parents. One day, before these people, they'd heard me speak this time a year ago when he was really unwell, and then I was speaking again, same group. And the man came up to me, the father came up, and he said, 2 weeks ago my son said, Dad, do you want to know what made the difference? And the father, of course, said, no, not interested. Nope. Kidding. Of course he wanted to know. And the boy said it was when you and Mom came home from that conference and you started going zoot, 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 zoot to me, I knew that you loved me. Now, that sounds like a corny story, but do you know it's true? You don't know what these silly little connection things we've been learning today will do for your children and other people. Because we've got way too sophisticated and way too complex in our culture. And we need to simplify and get loving again. And we'll be healthier and so will others. Another man told me a story about his 16-year-old daughter. And you know, she hated him. He'd spent 12 months trying to get her to even go, Dad, and she wouldn't even do that. Nothing he did worked. So he came home from the convention, zoot, 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 every day for 2 weeks, zoot, 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 zoot. And she's going, Dad, get off! Oh, Dad, stop it, Dad! He didn't stop it, he kept going zoot, zoot, zoot. He said his life turned around with her. One day, 2 weeks later, when she walked past him and went, zoot, zoot. See? These things really work. I get hundreds of emails from people who say their children are zooting all over the place now. And you can do this with teenagers as well, because teenagers really need a lot of ways to connect with you. They love you, they just hate you. And, you know, and you're just tragic. But they need you to show love as well. So, you know, when you drop the teenager off 14 blocks from their friends, you know how they turn around to check to make sure you've gone? Well, if you're really quick and you're prepared, they turn around and you go, zoot, zoot, zoot. And they go, ah, oh, zoot. See? So, having said that, everybody hands up. And on the count of 3, you are going to do this to 5 different people. You have to touch their chests, okay? So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go. Zoot, 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 zoot. Zoot, 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 zoot. Zoot, 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 zoot. Zoot, zoot. Zoot, 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 zoot. Keep doing it, zoot, zoot, zoot. He did such a good job. Okay, now the last big thing that